Hello from the greenhouse. This is the first time we have been in here together this year. Have a little peek. And I'm here really because everything over the winter has been kept warmish and have been sheltered from the rain and the snow here in Wales. But it's starting to look a little bit like spring is coming. And there are some things like my Paperwhites, these geraniums that are looking a little bit sad and need to be cut back. And then you may recall last year that I built an auricular theatre. So my auriculas have been here over the winter. So today I am in the greenhouse just cutting back with, I love these. They're my Sophie Conran, who I met last year. If you look at my Instagram, you'll see that I met her at Peter Jones in Sloane Square. It was a real touch-me moment meeting my heroine. My gorgeous Sophie Conran. What's the right word for these? Cutters, if you know the right word for these, I can't remember. Secateurs! I was going to say write it below, but is that right, secateurs? I took a tumble there. Secateurs. So, I am going to be going in and just tidying up, taking some of the dead or decaying vegetable matter away, making sure that the plant has lots of air and can breathe, and that, look at that there, you see, look at that there. That would get very mouldy. Can you see how it's starting? Look at that, to bring mould. And that mould would ultimately get into the plant and damage it. And I want these auriculas to look glorious again this year in my auricular theatre. So I'm going to take all of the vegetable bits off, all the dying bits. I think you'll agree that looks a lot better. Look at that. So one of the things that I love, and it's relatively new, is that in my previous gardens, I basically bought my plants every single year. I didn't have the size of garden or the time of gardening that I thought I needed to have the garden come back every single year. And I wasn't there in most of my houses for enough time to be able to really have bulbs come back every single year. And what I love about my garden is Wales is this will be the 5th year I'm here now. The first year I just kind of left it and let it settle and saw what was coming out. But I've been working with a garden designer in the first year and then my own designs in the years that followed. But now familiar friends are coming back in the garden every year, and I just love that. I love the fact that I've been here long enough to start to establish a garden. Yes, I've got 2 acres. Yes, there's so much to do. And every time I walk out the door, from spring right through to autumn, I'm almost pulling at weeds, picking up sticks. Even now, actually, I'm never stopping. So over by the listed tree where we have the little angel, we've lifted that tree this year, so lots and lots of kind of greenery is finally coming in there. But when we had the tree lifted, it means we took the lower branches up, and we also reduced some of the height at the top because it was really kind of overgrown, not letting the light in. So we've got lots of light around the bottom. I'm going to have fun this year planting things, but Mother Nature has started to populate it for me. But when the arborists were in and they were chopping off some of the branches, lots of debris fell from the tree, and that's all at the bottom. So every time I walk past it, or every time a dog runs in there, I think to myself, oh, that's another job I need to do. And I have to be honest, I took this out today to go over there just now, but it is 4:45 and I think it's going to get too dark too quickly for me to be able to do that job. However, I am so grateful because the sun is not going to set after 5 p.m. Before 5 p.m, sorry, basically until the clocks go back or fall back for the autumn. So I will have time to do it. Probably not next week as I'm going to be away in London, but I will have time to do it. So I've got about, I don't know, half an hour's worth of light left now. And I thought that I would do some jobs here in the greenhouse. These, oh, look at them, bless them. These are remains of my gorgeous Paperwhites. I always plant them. They are sort of, I don't know what you call them, winter daffodils maybe. They're absolutely glorious. I love them. They give colour in November and December. And I usually get them to flower in time for Christmas Day. So on our Christmas table, we will have Paperwhites, daffodils, and it's quite amazing to have them. They're white. You can see I put them in all of these different pots, which I love. And then when they start to fall over, I tend to support them with sticks that I get from the garden. And then I tie them up with fancy Christmas ribbon. Anyway, these need to come back. I don't know if these Paperwhites are going to rebulb next year. Let me know. Do you know whether the Paperwhites are going to rebulb next year, or should I just throw the bulbs away? I'm really loath, if I'm honest, to throw anything out. And I think, well, in the wild, most bulbs come back, don't they? Year after year. So why wouldn't these Paperwhites come back too? Look, I'm just chopping it off here. This is sort of a nod to chinoiserie. Blue and white china pots are basically a central staple of any country house in the UK. And I have a beautiful one that I plant tulips in every year. And that is my late mother's pot. And I bought these in various National Trust properties as I go around visiting. What's this one from? Yeah, this is definitely from the National Trust. Anyway, the light is going to go and I've got work to do. So I just wanted to pop on and say hello, and I'll see you soon. Take care, wherever you are, whoever you love. Thank you so much for joining me. Make sure you give me a subscribe so you can see the garden as it comes into full bloom. Take care.